everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. If you're not subscribed to our channel, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. Here is the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me at JRayTheFanatic.
What's up, guys? This is the happiest girl in the world, Britt Johnson. You guys can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Go Dodgers!
Congratulations to the Dodgers. Yes, congrats, Britt.
It's so bad.
Such an exciting day, and an exciting year for LA in general. This is the second major sports title that happened to our city. This is the kind of good news that we could use today. And Britt, I'm glad that at least one of your teams was able to walk away with the championship win. So congratulations. Yeah. I'm sure you were watching the game all night yesterday. Can you tell us about how it was for you? Because you're the biggest Dodgers fan on the panel, of course. So tell us just about your experience in that win.
It was amazing. So I don't think in my adult life any of my pro teams have ever won anything. So it was like the best feeling ever. And obviously I told everybody I went to the 2017 World Series. I was at the 2018 World Series. Dodgers played in both, lost both. So it was like literally as soon as they took out Blake Snell, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the pitcher for Tampa Bay Rays, because he was killing us. Like we weren't getting any runs off of him. As soon as they took him out, we like rallied up and we killed it and won. And then like we didn't even have to go to the bottom of the ninth for it. It was like strikeout and won the game, and it was so amazing. If you guys want to see my reaction, go to my Instagram, because I ended up recording my reaction in that moment. I cried. Yes, I cried. Then I ran out on my balcony and started screaming, and I heard a bunch of other Dodgers fans out there. We were yelling at each other. I stayed in the house though. I didn't act crazy like some people. We'll talk about it later and post up. But I stayed my butt in the house and I just screamed from my balcony. Lost my voice a little bit. Had maybe too many drinks. I got my Pedialyte now though, so
there you go.
Okay this morning.
You're getting those electrolytes in, so you can last through the show. Good job. Yeah, LA was on fire yesterday. There were fireworks. Partying. I know we are going to be talking about it in post up, but I even was hearing fireworks, and I live in Santa Monica, which is far away from where I think most of the celebrations were even happening. I don't think we're really doing much over here, but yeah, exciting day. These are the kinds of positive moments that we need in 2020, so it's a great way to start wrapping up the year. Now, before we get into the news, for those of you who have been watching this week, you know that our good friend Chris Clark is actually leaving the Fumble, and we decided that we wanted to showcase some of our favorite moments with Chris. It's a little bit difficult to choose just a few specific moments, because Chris, you have been so much fun to have on the show and to work with this whole time, but we all did our best. So Leo, whenever you have the clip ready, can you play one of my favorite moments with Chris?
Repeat 3 of Kawhi Leonard's now famous sayings.
What it do, baby?
I hated that game. Oh my gosh.
I know, but we're not happy.
We're not happy. Yeah, that was
so cute.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching Britt and Chris stuff their faces with marshmallows. And Chris, you were so funny that whole time. Oh wait, I'm frozen. Can you guys hear me?
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're good.
You're good for us.
Good. I love that moment. You were so funny the whole time and such a good sport, even though you had like 14 marshmallows in your mouth.
And we also
was it really 14?
We had a lot of marshmallows. But the difference was, what we learned is that vegan marshmallows don't dissolve. So poor Britt, way worse. Yeah. They were starting to melt after time.
in my mouth. This is not right. And then Chris goes, what? I'm over here, and I'm just like,
I'm like,
oh my God.
I just sat there and watched. I took in all of they were suffering, and I was just asking questions.
That's hilarious.
To eat more marshmallows. But that was a great moment. I had so much fun filming those. It was almost a year ago today. But Jackie, go and show us your favorite moment.
Oh, this is what's going on today. Okay.
So I sadly didn't get a chance to work with Chris as much as I wanted to, but I had so much fun when we covered the NBA. We did the lives in the morning, and Chris is hilarious. And I couldn't pinpoint one, so I found this one where he just kind of is animated Chris, which is what we're gonna so miss and love. It's not that bad, Chris.
That KD is the caveat to this whole situation. Whether he does play or if he doesn't play.
That's fair, man.
Why not? Y'all put all that weight on LeBron James'
But LeBron
shoulders.
was healthy. LeBron was healthy.
I do not care.
KD coming back with one leg, and I'm telling you that he's going to score 9 points, and people are going to tear him up. And man, that's crazy to me. But
you know what? I'm going to go out here and say another controversial thing that there's absolutely no news to back this up.
We need a sound effect anytime Jackie says something controversial.
I don't think his injury is all that.
Hit the button. Hit the sound effect.
I think he low-key.
Are you being serious?
I think he's playing it up. I think he's doing what Kawhi did when the Spurs doctors was like, he's okay to play, and Kawhi's like, let me get another doctor. No, I ain't. I'm playing it up. There's no proof of this. But this is
there's no proof of this. But I'm going to say.
Channel my inner Stephen A right now.
My
no one has told me this, but I think this is what is happening.
I haven't spoken to my sources yet, but. Look,
I haven't been on the phone with his mama or nothing, but I just think that he playing it up
you
just
really,
a smidge.
But why? For what reason?
Why?
My Stephen A, but why?
Okay, because of just the same flack that everybody gave LeBron when he was separated from the team, which wasn't a real. I am gonna get my inner Drake on though.
You take my lint out. You gonna sell it? You gonna sell it?
Well, it's actually a spider web. I'm selling this web,
and it's going. There's a spider.
Really was a spider. I remember that.
Chris actually saw the spider. That was the funny thing. Really I didn't see the spider. I just saw the little thing. But it was so fun. Watching the comments on that live, it was just so funny. It's like, I love Chris' voices. He's so animated. Do another voice, Chris. Everyone just loves how much you do your little voice.
It's so embarrassing to watch that because that was me trying to be all happy and hoping because KD's gonna be a Knicks soon. And oh my god, that made me just watching. I'm like, oh god. Pass Chris. Oh my god, you idiot.
And then Britt, we need to see your favorite moment.
Hey, this is the best one.
Oh god.
Yeah, so I have had the privilege of working with Chris the longest, so I have tons of moments with him. I remember the first time Chris got to show his face on the Fumble was because I think had left or she wasn't there that day, and we let you join us on the Weekend Zone. It was me, you, and Matt Demecki, and you joined us on the Weekend Zone. It was the first time you made your face appearance. You had been editing videos and stuff for a while, but that was the first time we saw your face. So I have moments from the beginning, middle, end,
and that's scary.
One, probably one of my favorites because it's back in a time when we used to still make fun of Matt Demecki, and we didn't make fun of Chris yet. Chris hadn't been the person we made got to make fun of somebody together. So let's go back to one of those moments, Leo.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Klay Thompson was so depressed and sad the whole game and just looked down and out on himself, like the Beehive just attacked him. And
scary, man. I get it, Klay. But.
And you got to keep your energy, you got to stay positive. And he really should have been there trying to rally his team instead of sitting there like a little crybaby because he wasn't playing. People knew he wasn't playing because he was injured. That wasn't even though his injury was his own fault. Yeah. But
he should just do what KD does, man. KD don't even come out to the sidelines. He just stay in the back watching in the corridors like, you guys are doing great.
Yeah, if you're going to sit out there and sulk,
just be in the back. There. Yeah, there's no point in being there.
Yeah, that's what probably lost the game for the team because you just sitting there crying.
Seeing Klay all sad.
I'm sorry, Klay.
I'm sorry, Klay. We're not doing it.
Looking like Eli Manning.
Oh my God. Now that.
Oh yeah.
Eli Manning always looked like someone stole his bike.
like his parents gave Peyton all the allowance and Eli got none left.
What do I get 56?
Why are we calling Eli when it really does? Oh my God. All right. So I hope you watched Game 4.
Being the little brother.
For no reason. Eli Manning's at home like, yo, why? All right, Game 4. Britt Johnson. It is tomorrow. It's a Friday.
Oh my God.
You can take a nap.
I'm gonna watch
you can
the
rest.
game.
Watch the game.
Today's actually my Friday, so I'm
So you
gonna
get a
go home,
Friday.
take a nap, and start drinking, and then I'll
Friday.
tomorrow.
Did you say Friday?
Friday, yeah. She gets 2 Fridays. I laughed at that over again because I just pictured Eli's face while listening to us talk about it again. It's just, oh my gosh,
Yes.
Eli Manning.
Yes.
That was from an the NBA Finals last year. So
Right.
we had nothing to go on. We were just like making fun of Eli Manning for like a good solid minute.
He's just like, what the hell?
He
Like,
deserves it.
Oh
He's such
my
an easy
God.
target too. Ah, Chris.
It does look like
That's
somebody
funny.
always stole his bike. Like he's always just like
He does.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look at Super Bowl pictures of him. He still don't look happy. Oh, that is so funny. That's hilarious.
Oh, we're gonna miss you so much.
Oh, guys. You can just make this easy. You can just like go through the week and just be like, all right, Chris, take it easy. See you later. High five, virtual high five.
Did we ever make things easy for you, Chris? I mean, come on.
I was just hoping. Oh my God.
And look, it's love. We're making it hard with love, though.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
I don't know. I never know how to do that.
There you go. You got it.
Well, Chris, we hope that you enjoyed those little clips, and
I did.
It was fun to walk down memory lane and just to see how you brought so much enthusiasm and excitement and humor to the channel. We're gonna miss that so much,
Yes.
but we'll continue to carry on your legacy even after you
I'll be
leave.
all right.
But on that note, you guys, let's roll in right into need to know news. It's a quick one. People are talking about how free agents may be hesitant about signing with new teams because of the shortened offseason. We talked about how training camps are potentially set to begin December 1st with games beginning on December 22nd. That makes it so that players teams like the Lakers and the Heat will have pretty much half the time that they normally would have to rest and recover and prepare for next season. Teams are preparing for free agency to begin as early as November 20th or 21st, which would be 48 to 72 hours after the November 19th draft. And that's if the plan to start the 2020-2021 season on December 22nd goes ahead. So, Jackie, let's start off with you. Do you think the shorter offseason will impact whether or not free agents choose to move teams because they'll have a shorter time to acclimate to their new teammates?
I think that's a good question. I think it's definitely a concern. It would be my concern, going into a new team where you're expected to produce and you have a limited amount of time to get acclimated into that system. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, per se, and go to a situation that you just don't have enough time. But at the same time, these guys are professional. They're good at what they do, and they know their roles. As long as they know their roles and the money is right, it might be a thought, but it might be just end up being an afterthought. And if the money is right and it's a situation that they want to be in, I don't think it'll have that much impact. But at the same time, if the team they're on kind of counters and the counter is just kind of right where they are, then they might consider staying just, because they already know the system. And sometimes the devil is much better, even if it's a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in. Sometimes the devil is a little, it's a little more comforting. But ultimately, I don't think it'll have that much of an impact, just because, like I said, these guys are professional. And if they want to go, they're going to go where they want to go.
Mm-hmm. And Britt, similar question for you. Do you think that players who might have originally been willing to leave will actually stay because of this shortened time between seasons?
No, I mean, we talk about even trades. You can trade a player until the beginning of February, like right before All-Star break. Like players know that they can be cut or removed or sent to a team across the country at any given time. So to Jackie's point of like, they are professionals. This is part of the business they know. And so if it's even in their hands to make an opportunity or to have an opportunity to make their own selection, they're just going to go where they want to go, because technically if they sign or re-sign with their team, they could still get traded mid-season and have to get up and go and be with the new team literally overnight. So if it was football, I would say it's a totally different conversation. But for basketball, it's not like you have to really like learn the game and learn your teammates like you do in a football setting, which is why there's a such thing as pickup basketball all the time. You can kind of just be thrown into situations and play, and these guys have been doing stuff like that for years now. So I don't think it would weigh any kind of way, unless they kind of do want to stay with the team that they're with. Maybe it might just push them to do that. But if they had situations like issues or anything with the team that they were with currently, there's not going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should just stay because I don't want to like move and do this, that, and the third. Like, I don't think that would be a deciding factor at all.
And then Chris, my last question for you, do you think that the shortened offseason will impact who teams choose to draft, or do you think that things are going to proceed as normal? Oh, you're muted. Oh.
Sorry, my bad. Hello. Hi. No, I don't think it's going to affect the draft at all. I think because the draft, first of all, NCAA season was cut so short and there was never any restart. So there's not much else new that anybody's going to learn between March to now. I think they know what they know about these players. Nothing like that's going to change. I mean, they're going to have their combine and whatnot. So they'll probably get a few new nuggets and might, decide who they want to get. But I think, free agency is probably going to be more of something where, some players might stay where it's with what they know, like Jackie was saying. But with the draft, I don't think anything's gonna get changed at all. I think people are gonna draft who they want to draft. They knew who they want to draft for months, and nothing's gonna change from that.
Okay, and then we have to wrap up Need to Know News, but Jackie just reminded me of something in the chat. Chris,
oh God,
this is our last time to do this. What day is it?
Oh my gosh, it's well, y'all over here threw an uppercut on me.
Pretty normal what you guys do. You guys usually so.
I was
usually
so
me that has to remind you.
Look, I was so prepared and ready to go. I'm like, it's my last one. We ain't gonna forget. But then y'all talking about like, oh, we have these moments with you, Chris. I'm like, oh, you bastards! I'm not ready for this. I don't know what's going on. So my whole psyche was just completely thrown off. I didn't know what was going on. So yeah,
I know. I forgot too. All right, so it's Hump Day, Chris. Thank you so much for joining me in our final Hump Day shout out. And now, can you take us into the post up?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Post Up on this fine Hump Day, quarantine edition. Yes, I was ready. I in my brain, I was like, they ain't gonna get me today. Last one, I ain't gonna miss today. And then they're talking, oh, we have these moments. And I'm there trying to fight tears and stuff. Like, no, that's your fault. That's your fault. But we're going to start off because we can't go without saying, we heard Britt mention at the top, but we cannot go any further without saying congratulations to the 2020 Los Angeles Dodgers squad for getting out of this shadow that they have been in for years upon years. I trust me, Brad, I understand that feeling, to have that first championship, because I felt that in 2009 with the Saints. That is the only kind of championship I have in my lifetime that I lived for and enjoyed. So I understand how you're feeling with that. So congratulations. Definitely deserved. Everybody was congratulating the Dodgers yesterday on social media, from famous people from the teams, and especially because now we got 2 in LA. Also, I want to thank the Dodgers for winning this World Series, so I don't have to hear any more Tampa Bay good luck BS, because then now we're going to talk about the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. No, that's been destroyed, and now I feel good that the Buccaneers won't win the Super Bowl. So shout out to the Dodgers. But LA fans are petty, bro. Like I can't go without saying that LA fans are very, very petty, because like I said, a lot of people congratulating the Dodgers yesterday, from LeBron James to Jeannie Buss to the teams themselves. We had the Sparks. We had, every team congratulating the Dodgers, to which the Dodgers retweeted a lot of these congratulations. Well, except for one team, and that's the LA Clippers. And you know that these LA fans are ruthless, so they decided to go all in on this team up until they nobody was, everybody was going in like, of course they didn't retweet because the Clippers are the real LA team and blah blah blah. Now eventually I feel like after some of this was gone to the Dodgers, they eventually did retweet them, but of course people want to jump the gun, and then the Clippers fans, that I was proud of them. They were going in on Twitter. I was like, oh, look at you, I've never seen you guys on Twitter. They were going in, and they had some things to say like, yeah, they did retweet us, so leave us alone kind of thing. They're going all in. But regardless, it was a little bit of a gap in between the tweets. So, the pettiness that is with the LA fans is, there. But I have to go to Britt Johnson, who is a fan of both. So while she's there celebrating her Dodgers, to also have this moment happen up until, like I mentioned, they did retweet. The Dodgers did eventually retweet the Clippers. But I have to come to you, Britt Johnson. I know you're probably not even fazed by it. People could tell you whatever they want to say. You're so happy about your damn Dodgers. I know you probably mentioned it earlier, and you're going through it right now. You're feeling the effects of celebrating yesterday, but excitement, happiness. What do you think? How just talk to us. How you feel? This is your moment. Take it in.
Chris, I'm glad you mentioned that they did retweet them, because I had Leo. I was about to bust you out. That first clip that just came up, that was from me. That was what I added to it, because I was like, Leo, throw this in there, because they want to clown on my Clippers not getting retweeted by the Lakers or by the Dodgers.
Did he? What did you say?
So I
they did.
Down. I wasn't gonna let you do that to me. But knowing that my Clippers, what happened, underperformed in the playoffs, and then what's happening with my Dallas Cowboys right now,
right.
The best feeling in the world that one of my teams has been able to win this in 32 years since the Dodgers last won World Series. And I mean, in the last 4 years, this was our third World Series that we've been in. So to keep getting so close in that 2017 Game 7 situation against the Astros, and then the Astros have this whole cheating scandal that's linked to that year. We find out about it. It's confirmed this year. And then for us to then go on and win the World Series in that year and beat the team that just beat the Astros the previous series, it was just everything just pieced together perfectly for me.
And that's the question I want to ask you, because of everything you just mentioned, going through the years of the Clippers, not being good, and they're good now, and then, with the Cowboys, up and down seasons and whatnot. I always wondered, could the Dodgers, like you just said, last four World Series, they've been 3 or 4 of them, is it worse to be that close and then continuously lose at the last step to be a championship, or is it worse to go through losing seasons? That has to hurt way more, right? Yeah, I always wondered that. Yeah, I don't know if I could deal with that.
No, that's when the Clippers sucked, I was cool. I just go to the games because the games are fun and it's cool, and I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not getting any gray hairs. But then as soon as the Clippers start getting good, I'm stressed out every year.
It's way more stressful.
This whole thing, yeah. Same thing with my Cowboys. When we suck, I'm just what? This year, everybody keeps saying stuff. I am not. Have y'all seen me trip one time about my Cowboys? It is what it is. We just are terrible, and I'm cool with that. But when we're good, a couple seasons ago,
that's more stressful, man.
When we were, had that 14-2 record, I thought we were going to win it all, and then we lose to the Rams in the playoffs. So it's harder. Keep getting close and nothing, and you don't get it. It really is.
Well, you can enjoy this one because you finally got it. Okay, you're good now. The Dodgers got there, so now we got a lot of repeating that's going to be talked about here in LA. And the LA, it's not over because we still got the Rams they're playing a lot better now. They started off a little rough, but they're playing a lot better now. Who knows? Maybe they might, do the trifecta. I would say the Chargers, but Chargers aren't doing so well. Sorry, Devin. I am a fan of your quarterback, but sorry, Devin. Chargers ain't in that conversation. Congratulations to the Dodgers, but we have to talk about something else that happened with the Dodgers that's been talked about on Twitter, and I need to talk about this here because I have to hear your opinions on this, because we did also find out before the game that Justin Turner was not going to be playing because he had tested positive for COVID-19. Now he was asymptomatic, but he was not a part of the game. But once the team had won, as you'd expect, he wanted to be a part. Oh God!
He did. What? He did play in the game.
He got pulled. Did I say he
didn't
play?
He played until he tested yesterday, and it was inconclusive. And then during, so they retested him which was yesterday. They retested him yesterday before the game and then let him play in the game. He played until the 8th inning. And then in the 8th inning, he was randomly removed from the game. And then we found out that he had COVID, which why tell somebody they have COVID in the middle of a game? Why
that's he's already not a good look.
Okay, now you can continue.
No, good context. So remember that context before I show you what I'm going to show you right now, because a lot of people are feeling how they're feeling, and yeah, be that as it may. But so like Britt just mentioned, so he was pulled from the game, and Dodgers win World Series. They got there. So now at the end of the game, if we can play the video, they were taking their pictures as a team, as you normally do. You see the group photos with the team. So he then came back on the field and took the picture with them. As you saw, he took off the mask, after finding out that he does have COVID. But then, and a lot of people were pissed off about this, and as you should. But at the same time, like Britt just mentioned, he played 8 innings already within the game. So I understand you got to stop the spread, but whatever could be spread was probably spread. Now, the bigger question for me is, he probably. Now, this video you're seeing right here is a separate video. This one I don't know about because they weren't playing, and he over there hugging, and that's a different conversation. That's wives and stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, take him out. Go take him out. This might make a difference. So I got come.
This is definitely. I wanted this as a Brit's take, but you got it in post up. So thank you for coming to me, because I really am so confused why the medical staff would test him or anybody right before a game, knowing that they won't get the test before the game starts. Because this is why the NFL doesn't test the day before a game, because they know it's going to take time to get the results back. So if you didn't test on Friday for it, then we ain't testing you again till Monday, because there's no point in having that and then having a situation where, we find out in that position for that to even happen. Exactly. At that point, yes, he has already been around everybody. The Dodgers dugout, if at any game you look at him, in a situation where you don't get the results before the game's over or before the game begins. That was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Jackie Ray, what do you think is next now for the MLB? Dodgers aside, what do you think is next for the MLB with this situation? Because this is going to be something that's going to be talked about. Probably not right now, because there's going to be a lot of celebrating going on. But this is going to be a conversation that's talked about, because like Britt said, to do it before the game, anybody could tell you, a kid could tell you that that's not the right.
Which we know you're not going to do. So it really has no point unless you're thought process is we're going to test you right before the game. No matter what the results are, we're going to just let you play, because like you said, once you start playing, you've exposed how many people. So what's the point now, unless you're going to just call the game, because now all these people have been exposed? It really doesn't make any sense. So you either test the day before or you test the after or the day after, but you can't have it in that window of time, because it just causes too much confusion, too much concern. I don't disagree with him hugging his family at the end of the game, because I'm sure he hugged all of them before. You know what I mean? So probably whoever got it at that point, whoever got it, got it. So I don't need to be out here all worried about what you think about me wearing this little funky mask, and I ain't wore the mask the whole. Stop it. So they just have to have better, like you said, a 4-year-old child could be like, maybe test the day before. So yeah, I think that has to happen going forward. And I'm just confused as to why that wasn't thought of before. I think that's my only thing. Me too.
I think that's everybody's thing. I think that's everybody's question. It's just I don't understand why we tested. We didn't get Justin. Hey, bring Justin in real quick. I know we have a game in an hour. Bring Justin. We got to test him out real quick. I don't understand the thought process on that either. I don't know. I
would have plausible deniability. Like, if you didn't test him, I'm just saying, oh, dang, you know what? I didn't even notice we didn't test him until the game was over. Let us test him right now. I wouldn't even have I'm not putting myself in that situation. Plausible deniability. I'm not going to do it.
For you lawyers out there, you heard it here first. There it is, right there. That's the true crime coming out once again from Miss Jackie Ray. But yeah, but we got the happy celebration from Britt Johnson here, who has been a Dodgers fan. I've been seeing that too in the chat. People calling her bandwagon. Like, chill out. This is not new news. You must be the new one. But yeah, Britt's been cheering on these Dodgers for a long period of time. Somebody else who's a diehard Dodger fan? None other than LeBron James. That's right. If you guys didn't know, LeBron James has been a diehard Dodger fan forever. I mean, there's no footage of him cheering on for any other teams like the Indians or the Yankees. There's no footage of that anywhere. That's not a thing. So that being said, diehard Dodger fan LeBron James was so excited because, like Britt said, he was going through the same emotions. 32 years without a championship. This is emotional time. LeBron James, let's know how you feeling about this win.
Yeah! Let's go! Game 6. Game 6. That's what we do out here in LA. Game 6.
I'm here for all of that.
Oh, man, the shade too. You like the shade too? You like that shade that was throwing on LeBron James as well? You here for that part too?
I wasn't here for that part. I was here for him saying yeah. Because the thing is that is exactly what was happening in my apartment last night. We recorded our podcast. We were watching the game while we were recording. As soon as we were done, the wind came up and everybody went out on their balconies and was shouting. And guess who went out on their balcony too? Me. And was like, yay, we did it. Who's we?
Oh my God.
I ain't been a Dodger fan my whole life, but we did it. We did it.
Who's we? Oh my God.
We finally did it.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. That is hilarious. But there you go. Yep, LeBron James, diehard Dodger fan, is just as excited as the rest of us. There. But from one Los Angeles Laker champion to another, we got to show some love to Rajon Rondo, who is out there living his best life out on the boat with his girl, and he is having a great time enjoying his championship. He couldn't be bothered by no dog. Look at him. He's out there living. Look at him and girl. Oh, hey.
That's inappropriate.
That is living though. But look, man, look.
God.
Hashtag Black Love, ladies and gentlemen. That's it right there. Look at them. Look at them out there doing the thing, having a good time on their boats, cigars and whatnot. I don't know where they are. It's back. We back.
Okay.
Now, see, there's too much sea for me. That freaks me out. I'm not a fan of that. The ocean, we talked about this a few post-ups months ago. I'm not a fan of it. But that being said, look at Rondo out there living his best life. Look at me, two-time champ. I just had to show some love to that. Shout out to them. Go ahead. Live it up. I see you guys. That's all I had. Just want to show love to that. But you know what love we're not going to show some love to? At least the internet has not been showing any love to. That is Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner. Now, we've talked about these rumors for months and months and months. But now it looks like, if it wasn't already official before, it looks like it's officially official now because he was in that small list of invitees to go to Kim Kardashian's 40th birthday celebration on a private island. Yes, there were pictures of them all having a good time, yucking it up, celebrating their birthday, and look at him in the back. He's there. That's Devin Booker, beard and all. Mr. 8-0 D-Book is out there yucking it up with the Kardashian clan. That's right, Leo. I knew Leo was going to give us that. There it is. There you go. Look at D-Book smiling. And, there's other pictures, too. You'll find Tristan Thompson. And I do want to come to you, Devin, because you did break the story on this earlier. You made a joke that I was thinking of myself, too. But talk about, what happens? Like, when D-Book and Tristan Thompson see each other, like, hey! Oh, so what's good, bro? Like, you want to do a team up thing? Like, you want to keep this Kardashian thing in the family? Like, how does that conversation go? But yeah, Devin. So seeing this, and you do like Devin Booker. You're not a fan of Tristan Thompson. I know that. But seeing this and seeing him be a part of the whole Kardashian clan, and we have Suns fans not very happy about it. How are you feeling about this spotting? It's just like, well, you're not surprised. Do you not like it? How are you feeling about seeing D-Book out there being spotted on Kardashian Island?
Well, I want to congratulate him for making it into the Kardashian inner circle. I'm not. Yeah, he really did make it. I'm not surprised by this at all because we know that the Jenner family, they really like their NBA players. Kendall and Devin have been hanging out for months now, so I'm not necessarily surprised. But to answer your question about what Devin Booker and Tristan Thompson are talking about, I think that they sit there and they're like, yo, how do we get to the Lakers? And I want to say, we'll take D-Book. Hard pass on Tristan Thompson. We don't need him over here, but I think the plan is to get to the Lakers.
But Devin, your LeBron James is really good friends with Tristan Thompson, though, so he might like that. He might want Tristan Thompson on his squad. That's a reality show I'd watch.
Devin, you don't want him just because he's just everybody's man. Is that why you don't want him? Because he just belongs. He just out here for everybody.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to wear a Lakers uniform. Absolutely not.
Look at Devin. Devin out here like he needs to live in purgatory the rest of his career. Let him stay in Cleveland. Devin out here real about that. Yeah, he signed his extension, so he's stuck there anyways. Yeah, go ahead, Devin. I co-sign that. I don't co-sign Devin Booker to the Lakers, so I don't co-sign that at all. No, I'm not co-signing that. But you know what I will co-sign is J.R. Smith doubling down on his comments from earlier this week. Now, J.R. Smith was on a podcast earlier this week, and he was asked who is one of the only players that he disliked in his time in the NBA, one of his teammates, that he disliked. And he said that he got along with every single player he's played with, and he's played with, except for one dude, and that was Sam Dekker, who was on his same team when they were playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And at first, like a lot of people, I was looking at that, I was like, that's a little curious. Like, why? Sam Dekker, like, who even is he? Has he even played in the NBA for that long? I remember him slipping and falling the ball, hitting him in the face. That's the only thing I remember about Sam Dekker. Yeah, he did. That's right. He was a Clipper. That was a thing too. But J.R. Smith did continue to go on and talk about the reason why he didn't like it. And he said that Sam Dekker, hearing his conversations when they were on the team bus as well as in locker rooms, Sam Dekker was, in his words, in quotes, was on his Trump shit, saying that, he said a lot of things where, he was raised to believe one thing, and he definitely was drinking the Kool-Aid. And when he heard his conversation that he was having and the way he was talking to some of the homies on the team, that's when he was like, this guy, I can't co-sign him. Not a fan of him. So he's been not a fan of Sam Dekker the entirety of them playing together. Well, all that came out, and that was viral. Everyone was seeing this. Everyone was like, oh, JR doesn't like Sam Dekker, blah, blah, blah. Well, here comes Wifey to save the day. We kind of talked about something similar to this when, a lot of people were being outed when the social justice movement was reignited. I'm not going to say just starting up because it was not just starting up. It's been around for a while, but it was reigniting a few months ago. And we were having the same conversation with a lot of these wives were trying to, defend their famous hubbies and whatnot. We're having a situation like that right now because she is out here trying to disregard what J.R. Smith had to say and about her husband, Sam Dekker. This tweet had come out. I'm not going to read the exact tweet, but she was just pretty much saying, like, this is inaccurate, it's not fair, but also consider the source, trying to take a jab at J.R. Smith. And J.R. was not having that. He responded saying, would you like to explain why your husband can't say the N-word, or should I? I mean, I don't mind at all. Definitely hinting at the fact that he definitely was saying that without a problem in the world. And if you can look closely, there's a lot of there's a lot of symbols, and there's a very big R, meaning that the hard R was definitely added when he was using the word. But Olivia was not. She was double downing on her man, and she responded to this, trying to give him the Karen JR. Now here's her response. She came out and tweeted to respond to this. She said, JR, he doesn't say that word. I've never heard him say that word. He's not a racist or a Trump supporter. Simple as that. Not sure what your motive is here. Now, I understand it. I respect you trying to stick with your man, but Olivia, I don't know. I know you do report and stuff like that, but are you tied to the hip with him? Like, are you in the locker rooms and stuff with that? I mean, JR was specific when he said in locker rooms and on the team bus. So if you're part of that, then maybe this is a different conversation. Maybe JR might be pulling something out of his ass, but those are conversations that are very sacred when it comes to, team and basketball, any sport, those conversations, stuff that goes on. So I would tend to stay on JR's side when it comes to this conversation, because I feel like, if that's something that he's saying that he heard, saw, was not a fan of, and then he also had other teammates co-signing with J.R. Smith on this, knowing that they heard the same thing, then I don't know, something is not right there. She's playing games. She sure did. I was going to get to that next. She sure did, but of course she can't say it out loud because she needs to make sure her hubby, Sam Dekker, his name is cleared. But I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I'm going to leave it at that, but more of the story here is and then she talked about what's the motive, like, to see, stop, don't turn it into something that it's not, trying to turn it into like J.R. Smith trying to come after Sam Dekker. No, he simply answered the question, said that's a teammate he doesn't stand, he said why, and he left it at that. He wasn't trying to, I don't know, but there's that. For right now, it's the end of that, but we'll see what happens, because like I said, this is still something that's being talked about to this day. It was talked about on Monday, but yeah, we're gonna move off of that. JR, I hear you. I believe you. But speaking of comments or things that happened against Trump supporters, we have to talk about DeAndre Hopkins, who I had talked about on post a few days ago, who was driving on the Arizona freeways, flipping off the Trumpcade that was going on. He was not a fan of that, and he felt the need to explain himself on All Things Covered, which is Patrick Peterson's podcast. And I don't feel like he needed to explain himself, but I loved his explanation, so we're going to hear it. So here was his explanation as to what happened that day.
Sharon, I got to tell you something.
That's the wrong video. This is not the right one. This is adorable. Juwan, That's not the right video. Did I not? did I put it in the wrong folder? Did I not drop it? Might be on me. Ah, damn. Okay. Well, basically, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I can do it. I got DeAndre Hopkins. I got you. I love this explanation. Basically, his explanation was that he was driving. He was in the Trumpcade because he didn't know it was a Trumpcade. It was not something that was said, this right here is a Trumpcade. He was driving, didn't realize he was a part of that until he saw that there was an American flag and something was going on, and these cars started honking at him because he obviously wasn't a part of it in his Lamborghini. And he said that when he was trying to give them the peace sign, for whatever reason, his index finger just wasn't working on his hands. So just the middle finger just went up and it stayed up. So it was an honest mistake to these people who were honking and very upset with him because he was not a part of what they were doing. So yeah, I get it. You know, you want to show peace and love, but for whatever reason, you know, you're a wide receiver. You know, Kyler might have thrown it too hard to your index. I get it. You don't no need to explain yourself, DeAndre. I get it. I understand. Completely, you know, innocent mistake. I got you, Diop. Don't worry about it. But you saw right there was a little teaser of this next one. I'm gonna get right into it because Juwan Johnson, who only played one snap, but I see you, Juwan, my boy, played for the New Orleans Saints. Shout out to Juwan Johnson. We had some injuries. Emmanuel Sanders, who did test positive for COVID, so he was not playing for that game. We also lost our one of our linemen who was the third string. It doesn't matter, but we had some openings, so we called up some dudes from a practice squad, and Juwan Johnson was one of those guys. So he was playing his first official pro game against the Panthers, and he decided to surprise his wife with this video. It was pretty cute.
Shannon, I gotta tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm supposed to be playing this week.
No, you're not.
Yeah, huh?
Are you lying to me?
Yeah, nah, girl, I'm not.
Are you lying?
I'm not.
Get out of town.
Cute. Little squeaky mouse sound. Yeah, like I said, he played three snaps. One of those three, but let me see.
Sorry.
No, I missed it. No. Damn it.
I missed it too.
You hate it? What is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Damn, I missed it. Whatever. Juwan, I'm glad
to go on when it's coming back to us because I feel like this is not the first time Britt and I have been caught with the stank face. Can we get like a warning when they?
I'm so mad I missed it.
That's it on purpose.
Damn,
I'm so upset.
Be the
hair. Yeah, Devin got you beat because she was in it. Like that was the concentration was there. For sure. Damn, I'm so mad at
God.
Anyways, before I let you guys go, I have one more moment. And of course, you know, the last one's always got to be something funny or something relatable or something hilarious. And this one, we're bringing back a kid video. Yes, we talk about it all the time here on Post Up that, you know, no easy baskets. In the words of Britt Johnson, no participation trophy. So this right here warmed my heart. And it even warmed my heart, even though it was not nice, but it warmed my heart that little man was tired of being bullied, so he did something about it and took matters into his own hands. Check out this video.
Do it again.
Pissed. But he's mad. He's mad. He's plotting. He's like, I'm tired of this. All right, block me again. Come on. Block me again, Dad. Come on. He even called. He's like, okay. All right. Plotting. No, don't feel bad. Little man is a problem solver. Look, steals. He gonna dunk on him and stuff like. Ooh, I need you guys to go through the journey. And feel for little man. Do push ups.
He's strong now.
Oh God.
Watch it. Here we go. Problem
Look
solver.
at Mom encouraging him.
Nice try. Wow.
Oh.
Yes.
Look how he's looking at him.
Yes. Step over.
That is
so funny.
Step over him.
That is you gonna learn today in a child. You gonna learn today.
Little man.
Oh man.
We got Marcus Smart on his way. Little Marcus Smart is on his way to the NBA, and this is how it happens. Like Bridget said, no participation trophy. This kid is about to he's going to have at least 1,000 technical fouls in his NBA career. The shot to little man. He is ready, and he's on his way.
He's going to make it to the league now.
He's going to be in the league, though. That's right. But that's it for me here on Post Up.
All right.
That was great.
Thank you so much, Chris. Now, Jackie, tell us what we not gonna do. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this one.
All right, so first up, what we not going to do is ignore this L. Ron Hubbard Scientology conspiracy theory from Mr. Jake Hubbard that we're not live. Clearly, sir, we're live. That's first and foremost. Next, let's get into my favorite person to throw shade at, Mr. Danny Green. I like saying his name, but sometimes it comes out with anxiety and then a 4-letter expletive after. But low-key, I'm not. I think Danny Green's probably a really nice person. He just seems that way to me. He just gives me anxiety. But, we still have to talk about that Game 5 shot that he should have passed off to KCP in the corner, but he didn't. And he missed. And so I'm not mad at him for still bringing it up. I know people have given him flack on this specific podcast he was on, where they were asking him about it on the Ringer podcast. And people were like, okay, he shouldn't even talk about it. He's going to have to talk about it. Everybody's going to ask him about that from now on, probably until forever. And his first response kind of got me a little off. He said, the first clip, don't be a title reader is what I'm trying to say. His first clip said we were up 3-2 still. They were celebrating. Their wives and girlfriends were talking stuff to our wives. Supposedly that's what I heard. I just heard there was a little bucking going on by the buses. Okay, what? So me not wanting to be a title reader, I went and I actually listened to the podcast because I was like, there's no way in hell that's all he was talking about as far as him missing that shot. And of course he didn't. And so he talked a little bit more about that. And he said, after he missed the shot, he said, quote, the old me, I would have been way more crushed by it. Outside of that shot, I played pretty decently. It wasn't like I shot terribly. I was playing well. We were down most of the game. I felt like we made a lot of mistakes previous to that shot. He also went on to say that it shouldn't have come down to the last shot. It should never come down to the last shot. And he doesn't understand why nobody says anything about the team giving up 111 points before that shot. He also said that they needed to make adjustments and that they needed to lose that game and they thought they were going to win just because they were in the Mamba jerseys, blah, 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 blah. So, again, I think this one is a tough one because, again, Danny Green is going to have to answer these types of questions for a long time. It sucks, but he does. But I just don't like his answer because you could just gloss over it. You could just say nothing, but you don't say, oh, it shouldn't have come down to that last shot. Do you know how many people actually live for those moments? They live to be the reason why their team won. Danny Green said he didn't go home thinking that he lost that game for his team, which is funny to me because technically you kind of did. You lost that specific game. Yes, there was things that could have gone on in that game, but he said it should never come down to that last shot. And we could just go throughout history and just look at how many people, AKA y'all's GOAT, who y'all talk about, making the last shot. LeBron James, outside of y'all pretending that he doesn't, makes a lot of last shots. And for a guy, especially Danny Green, that we've talked so much trash about, that moment would have been so stellar for him if he'd have made that shot. So don't say that, my guy. And then when you do, now here come the Twitter trolls. So this first guy said, I would trade Danny Green immediately for some chips and Gatorade if I were the Lakers. This next guy says, Danny Green talking too much. Y'all giving him too much media. I agree with that. Like, let's talk to Danny Green about what's next for him. Maybe let's move off of that shot as well. And then this last one says, what kind of mentality is this? Yeah, he definitely on the chopping block. So, Devin, I know you always are team say more, so I have to come to you. Is this a say less moment? But he's going to have to answer this. So I don't really know if it can be a say less moment, but should he figure out a way to answer this question about this shot a little bit better, or does he just gloss over it and start moving on from now on?
Okay, yes, you're right. I do typically like us people talking about things and airing their dirty laundry just because I think it's entertaining and amusing. But in this situation, maybe I'm still a little bitter about it, but I think that he needs to figure out definitely a better way to respond to this question, because you're right. He's going to be asked this for a long time. People are always going to remember this moment. But yeah, his answer this time was just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. Yeah. He needs to figure something else out with this one.
Mm-hmm. So let me channel my inner basketball Olivia Pope, Danny Green, even though you're not my favorite. And I'll tell you how to answer this question going for it. Say it really sucks. I really wanted to be that guy for my team at that moment. I didn't. I had to figure out a way to get out of my head and get back in there and play the next game to make sure we could win. And that's something that I'll learn from, period. Don't answer any more questions after that and just move on. So again, I don't like the way that Danny Green answered that question. It could have been better, but at least he did answer the question, not like the stay in his feelings, can't answer a legitimate question, Kevin Durant. I've said it before. Chris has said it. Countless commentators have said it. And what we not going to do is pretend that it's not true, that Kevin Durant is immensely talented, but he left a team that he couldn't beat the Warriors on and went to the Warriors. He literally had the, if you can't beat them, join them mentality. He is going to be asked this question for the rest of his life. As he should be. Chris is over there huffing already. Maybe if he, would have just said, hey, man, tomorrow's not promised. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get a ring in OKC. I wanted to make sure I got a ring. I mean, some of y'all wouldn't like even that answer, but at least you'd have to respect that the man would be honest about it and he could move on. But that's not how he responds. So here we go. So a user asked him this question. He says, does it bother you that even though you're a top 15 talent ever, you'll never be accepted by the greater NBA fan base because you joined a team you couldn't beat? And he goes, just shows how emotional people are. That is a horrible response to me because it's not an emotional thing. That's a legitimate question. Like, how do you feel about being this good, but people are always going to ask you about this? And, didn't you make this emotional choice? Weren't you too emotional to say, hey, let me stick it out here? So I'm emotional. I don't think I can get a ring with OKC. So let me go over to here. That's an emotional decision. So I'm a little confused, but whatever. His response got a little bit more confusing on this next one. This user said, the two different users were talking about, he goes, nah, for real, y'all really don't respect KD's rings, like in all honesty. And the guy responding goes, not one bit. Kevin Durant chose the easy route. It's the reason why he talks about it every couple months, because he knows deep down inside. And then Kevin Durant again says, look at you, emotional. But again, Kevin Durant, you do talk about this ever so often without even people bringing it up. And here's a fun fact. None of these people have a blue check mark by their name. This is just random Twitter users that Kevin Durant had the need to go and say something to because he's emotional. So Chris, why is he so emotional about this? Look at Chris's face. You knew it had to come to you. Just tell me what you're thinking. I don't even have a question. It's all over your face and body language. Just tell me what you're thinking right now.
I'm thinking the same thing I'm always thinking when it comes to this. Everything you top this entire We're Not Gonna Do with is exactly how I feel. If you want the question to stop being asked, chop it in one interview, and I guarantee you, at least it'll still be asked, but it'll be trickled down. The problem is he enjoys this too damn much, and it pisses me off. He loves this. He loves this. He loves being emotional and calling other people emotional. He loves to deflect his emotions on other people, and that's just who he is. That's just what he loves to do, and it's just so annoying because I want to like Kevin Durant, just the basketball player, but then this stuff happens. It's just like, bro, come on. Like, it's bad enough you're on the net, so it's hard enough to even for me to like you right now. But yeah, so it's just frustrating. It's just so frustrating and annoying.
It's going to be harder when him and Kyrie start playing because that's going to be a mess. But right now, it is time for Britt's takes.
Britt's take.
You know, when Chris is irritated, he does that better. So make sure he's irritated every time.
Oh, God.
All right, I'll work on that.
So my Britt's take today is going to be real short and sweet. So we, right before the show aired, got news that the Sixers are finalizing a deal to make Daryl the new president of basketball operations. Immediately, I was just like, what? Like, I wasn't surprised about it because of the fact that they've been trying to get him there for quite some time now. And he has continually denied them, especially when he had his extension with the Rockets a couple years ago. And obviously that didn't pan out. So now we're in this situation and it's supposed to be finalized any moment now. And I looked at what the pieces that are there. So we have Elton Brand, who's still there as GM. Daryl's going to be the president of operations. And then Doc Rivers as the head coach. This is like this weird three-headed monster that is just going to attack each other, because all of these guys are very strong-willed. They're very opinionated. They like to do stuff their way. We all know that. It's not going to work. It doesn't make any sense to have these three guys together. And we're talking now, Daryl doesn't even make sense to be with the Sixers, because isn't this the founder and owner and president and king of the small ball? Do you not have a 7-foot point guard with the Sixers right now? Like, what is he like? He doesn't even believe he doesn't even believe in that kind of basketball. And even to the point where a couple months ago, when everybody was getting on him that the small ball doesn't work, this isn't a good idea, he continually defended himself and defended it over and over again because he thought it was the greatest thing in the world. He is one of those guys that even if he knows he's wrong, he is going to just still stick with what he said anyway. And now you want to combine him with Elton Brand and with Doc Rivers? This is just a disaster waiting to happen. I have for years been talking about the Sixers and how they were going to end up being the number one team. It's because for literally 4 years straight, they had a top 3 pick. They were getting all these guys, whatever. And I was like, this team is literally being built, and they're being built through the draft. And it was really beautiful to see. And then what has been happening with the Sixers? And this is literally going to be the icing on the cake of destruction for them. I think this is going to be a disaster. I don't know why you would I wouldn't even want to see these three guys in the same room together, let alone running a basketball team together. Chris, I want to go to you really quick. What are your thoughts on him joining this team right now? I get the Sixers have been wanting him for a while, but with the other pieces we have here with Elton Brand and now with Doc Rivers, how do you think this is going to be the Sixers?
Y'all seen that Red Bull commercial with the knight who has a Red Bull and the three-headed dragon? That's exactly what's going to happen with the 76ers. That's literally what's going to happen. These are three completely different minds. Now, mind you, Elton Brand hasn't been there long enough for us to really know what his mind is. But like you said, Elton Brand was at least doing the right way, building through the draft. Yeah. His biggest mistake was letting Jimmy Butler go. We'll give him that. But other than that, he's been doing it the right way. But to put Daryl Morey in there, I've never been a fan of Daryl Morey. I don't get the thought process. Maybe because he's good at bringing in 3-point shooters, so maybe because that's what the Sixers. I don't know. I just don't see this working out with those three. Like you said at the very top of this, it makes no sense to me. They're not going to work out together. I'm done giving any beliefs in the 76ers. Trade Ben Simmons.
And honestly, that with Daryl there, that is probably the first thing he's going to do because he does not want a 7-foot point guard.
Him and Embiid are both gone, or a 7-foot center.
I think
he doesn't want a 7-foot center either, Britt. So Embiid gone too.
They're both gone. Yeah.
We thought just one of them would be gone. Maybe both of them will be gone now. I am so confused. Yeah, not a good idea, but it ain't my team, so I ain't worried about it.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for all of your thoughts and opinions throughout today's show. Chris, we hope you enjoyed the little memories that we showed you and all the fun times that we had. And get ready, because there's more where that came from. I know you don't want to hear that, but we got to make the goodbye as sentimental as possible. So subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for more Chris moments. This is the final week that we're going to be getting those Chris moments, so make sure you're here and on time. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Chris, don't cry before Friday.
No, I will not.
In the car. You don't cry in the car.
You ain't going to see it. Yeah, right.